Namaste. Very well, welcome everyone. I have only a feeling in my heart to be here, to be of any help to any one of you who want to discover the truth, who want to discover the joy of life, who want to attain clarity in life, and I have no preparedness whatsoever. During the past week, before, when we met before, no, last time, in this Saturday meeting, a lot has happened and I have discovered a lot, seen a lot, but all of that is left behind. When I'm meeting you, I'm empty again, not at all prepared, depending only on the truth, depending only on this, depending only on this moment, present moment, and our capacity and wisdom to know, to see, to experience the truth. I just wanted to declare that how it is from my side, because I feel this is the best way to meet this moment when it comes to knowing the truth, particularly. About meeting life, we may choose to mix, or some degree of training will be mixed always. No? But here, no training is required for anyone to know the truth of who we are. This I know clearly. Meaning the less training, the better. No training, the best. But for the relative clarity, certain training, certain mind will be here also, which is okay. But for discovering the truth of who we are, not okay, not necessary at all. So the capacity to cut off from the past is the same capacity to stay in the purity of our own being in this moment. It is more of a decision, and it is more of a understanding also that happens internally. No? Like what all is mixed with me at any point of time, what it does, what it gives me, what it takes away from me, what is the cost of it. This clarity when happens, then we are actually in a way master of our own being. Then we choose to stay in the purity of our own being when we want to, like in the times like this, or for rest of the time we will allow the mixing to remain inside us, so that that mixing of training and learning can help us in practical life, as individual. It helps us in living as individual. So to know who we are is basically to know who we are beyond being individual. And then the desire to know who we are, whose desire it is. If it is the desire of the individual, then we are not going to succeed so easily, because that being an individual will continue being here. We will continue being the individual while we will try to know the truth of who we are beyond being individual. No? Only when the desire to know who we are has gone deeper than the individual, like it is coming from the depth of our own being, then we will be able to put aside that being individual for the moment and discover who we are beyond it. No? Like this. So just some things I felt. Thank you. Thank you for joining again. My heart is so full of joy to meet all of you. There seems to be no other region to meet when we are so I'm feeling so joyful to meet you. Deep love and appreciation and respect is felt for you all. Thank you. Uma, you want to say something?
Pranam. You shared that now we can meet freshly by leaving every past aside. This is so attractive for me. Like, I want water and you have a full drum of water or I full river or like big source.
So now that Uma, you have invited me to meet in this present moment, let's see what are our possibilities and options, and let us first of all try to ensure that we are really in the present moment, freshly here, and we have left in a way, or put aside in a way, our past or mind. Okay, it is very important because the mixing is where confusions come from. Confusion comes from mixing. When we are living as a being and being an individual is mixed with us, and while we are believing that I am living as a being right now, that is from where, for example, confusion comes, which is undetected and cannot be removed so easily because it is not detected in the first place. So let us ensure first of all that nothing is mixed with me right now from the past. Like one statement, no, nothing is mixed with me right now from the past. What is the past here? How you will know, Uma, that it is the past mixed with me? Or is there anything called past which can mix with us? Does a actuality of the past lives inside us only? Let's be very simple and neutral about it, okay? Not having already a, you know, preconceived idea about it that, okay, it has to be like this or not like this. And I will just share, you share back if you feel something, no? Like this. I feel the breakfast you had before the meeting is from the past. But it is not really from the past. You had breakfast in the present. You did not have breakfast in the past, no? Do you see the difference? And that the moment you had breakfast in the present the body started processing it, and body has been processing it in the present. No? Body also does not process anything in the past. No? But my body was like how it was in the morning is same like this in the right now. I say no, it is not true. Body is also in a process of kind of repairing itself. No? Yeah, have you seen, no? Like squirrels, cats, they keep grooming themselves, like cleaning themselves. Like this, our body continue working on itself, no? Also. So it's also always in the present and working on itself, no? But what about those feelings we had in the morning, good or bad, nice or not nice? But they are still here. Some are still here, no? Is it not the past? I say no, even this is not the past. And let me explain. Because this is a difficult one, no? The feeling we had in the morning actually was felt in the present. And whatever is felt in the present is in the control of the present or in the discipline of the present. And it fades away by itself. And that feeling faded away already by itself. But I'm still feeling the same feeling here. Check again. It is not same. It is similar only. It is not same. It is similar only. But from where this feeling came? This is where the actual past comes in. What is the actual past? The actual past is not a actual energetic blocks of energy or flow of life. It is our mind, which is believing that there is something called past and something called future continuously and overlooking the truth of the present moment. No? Now that mind state created or is creating that feeling continuously. So it's a created feeling, not a feeling that happened in life, in the present. So that is what is the created life that we live inside us continuously. That we do not live the freshness of this moment because we keep creating what happened. Unknowingly, of course. Be aware of it, Uma, right now, and do not create anything that happened. It will fade away by itself. This is the law of present moment. No? This is the law of life, law of truth. No? That nothing stays. Whether it is good or bad, it is our way of looking at it, but this is truth. Nothing stays as it is. Everything changes. So where is past now, Uma? Past is in our attitude, in our ignorance about ourselves and about how mind functions, or particularly how experiencing happens. We have not been experiencing directly yet. We have been experiencing through the mind only. Like 99% experiences that we experience through the mind, 99% could be little bit. It is changeable, little bit. But let's say most of the experiences that we experience inside us are through the mind. And also, particularly, they are created by the mind. Like mind does not let us experience directly. Meaning through mind we are not in a way allowed, you can say, to experience or meet life directly as it happens inside us. Mind takes the reading of what happened and creates something homemade, to us, for us, which looks more fitting, which does not disturb the sleep of the self in the form of individual. No? It is part of that mechanism. No? Now, for those who want to wake up, for all of us, that same thing goes against us now. No? That mind is not letting us experience anything directly now. Like rarely it happens that we are able to feel something directly. Like it is when we have caught the mind by surprise, like unattended, like mind was absent in some way, that suddenly, be aware of it right now. Do not experience through the mind right now. And the differentiation here is very simple. If you experience without the mind directly from your being, it feels fresh, alive, excitement is here, joy is here. Try to see the word alive. It is alive. Alive is not something which is disturbing anyone, calling anyone, having any stickiness or anything. That which is alive truly does not have any such things in it. That which is alive is only more fresh, pure, exciting in a way, excited within itself. This is life, quality of life. But that which is created by the mind is sticky, trying to pull, trying to push, trying to do, trying to move. That which is actually present inside us and being lived directly right now is not trying to push us anywhere. It is not trying to tell us anything. It's not trying to say that know this or no, don't know this. So like this, let us now, I think, Uma, we are clear that what it means to be in the present without touching the past. No? Now let us live. No? Like we are truly, deeply, clearly knowing it now. No? Because without understanding what is the past, how we will keep it aside? No? Now we have become clear. Now let us keep aside the past. Meaning, let us not meet the present through the past or through the mind. Here you are going to find yourself to be more of a being than of a individual self. No? Like I am. I just am here. But it's more of an open experience, not so much solid, limited to a particular form. No. Or even if it is limited to the form that we are in the body, it's not particularly in a place or a orientation, a way of looking. It's more like a spaciousness living in this form of you. Where it is such a alive spaciousness, such a joyful spaciousness. No? That's what we are, this joyful spaciousness. No? And it is so simple to live the truth of who we are in the present. And yet it is so difficult also, no? Because we do not know what is in the way. So it is not that past is creating past, it is the mind is creating past. Otherwise life is always fresh and new. Every morning is a fresh morning. And it's a first morning, in fact, in a way. But to live in that continuity with the individual self, in that story of the individual self, it is required that we do not meet the freshness of life. Because if we do, that dream which is very fragile will be shattered very quickly and we will wake up to the truth of who we are. But hey, that's what we want. Or no? Yeah, so then we know what is the way to wake up now. The way to wake up is to get out of that way of the individual self. That is called the mind, in which everything is happening, not just one thing. For the beginning, no? For the beginners, when somebody asks in Zen, what is mind? They say, everything is mind. And then they underline it. Everything means everything. So right now, Uma, everything is mind and you are the being. You are not touching anything or you are not touching mind. Like this, you are not living anything through mind. And very soon, mind will be seen as truth also. Not the truth that is seen through the mind, but the truth of the mind that is seen in the truth of who we are, the being, like we are right now. No? This is not only just sitting in the present moment, living the truth in the present moment. This is like opening the door of infinity within ourselves. This is the way to enter into the heart of our own being and finally into the presence of God inside us. The doors towards God inside us are always open because there are no doors here. Anybody who truly turns towards who we are never finds any doors or locks. Only when we are not able to turn towards it, only when we are not able to recognize clearly what is the mind and we are not able to give it up, that we feel struggle. No? There is a gravity of the mind or ego. As soon as we give it up, we fall into the, you know, levitation of the self. And we rise in consciousness. Immediately, we start rising in consciousness into home, into ourself, no? Because that also has a magnetism to it, pull towards it. Meditation is to learn in one way to get to detach ourselves from that mind. Mind means like a portion of the collective mind lives inside us. As soon as we let it go, we become free from the pull of the collective mind, which is much bigger than we can think. Now we are in the flow of what I call Lord. Now we will be pulled towards the center called God inside us. And we are going to feel more joyful, stable, peaceful, true, undivided. Not one with anything, just undivided. The oneness with God does not happen through oneness. It happens through dissolution of sense of separation only. So there is no oneness here. There is only one here. There is a big difference between these two. Oneness is the experience of the separate self. One is the truth of who we are and truth of Lord also. But there is only one here now. And as I say, in the end, allow yourself to come back to the body mind now, to feel that have you become two now when you have come back to the body mind. Have you lost that one truth that you are? Because what we have done just now is so powerful that it is going to guide us continuously for days and weeks in the direction of discovering who we are. The very touch of this truth is so powerful. We have touched it today, no? Like this. This is complete truth. It is not portion of truth that we have seen. And we were not also an individual seeing the truth. It was realization of the truth by the truth. Very nice, Uma. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Very, very nice. God bless you all. Very, very nice.
Thank you, Ji. It's strange. I'm going back to the morning when I'm in the present, and I was wondering, like, how does this feel? From morning, many things have been happening, just like you said, from last Saturday to this Saturday. So many things have been happening, but now you're present, and I love to meet you like this. That I am also in the present. Many things happen from morning, and I practice this from morning. That when something happen. Now, if I don't give this meaning, if I don't make a story out of it, I transition to the next moment. And then it's not even a transition anymore. After some practice, it's not even a transition. And more things started to happen. You know, bigger and bigger things, all the way from the roads to everything closed today and rounding. Bigger and bigger rounds to come to Satsang place. Simple, no direct route to Satsang place this morning. And I arrived here, and no story around it, no meaning given to any happening. And then it's like it never happened.
How wonderful. How wonderful. When we are living in that sense of continuity of the individual self, and more particularly in the sense of individual self, when we are living, then what happens in the moment is seen as a result of our effort in some way, done by us or done to us. Like either it is done by us, like we are doing it, or it is being done for us, like somebody or is doing something on us. Like this, it is felt within that story. As we become free from that sense of story more and more, as we disconnect from the past more and more in the present, then actually our eyes start opening up that it's not something so much I'm doing, it's more what is happening. You know, what you are reporting, no? So as a result of that, breaking out of that circle. So basically this one thing, circle, is what is called ego. There is another circle, which is the circle of the universal self, in which the whole universe is happening. But we are limited to the individual self circle, limited or located in our own mind and body. And it is mostly perfect for quite some time to live life through it, no? Because that's the role that we are playing at the moment. But when the enough consciousness is there inside you, self-consciousness, then it looks like a limitation, that there is some kind of limitation, something is kind of not okay, something can be better than this, and that's where we break out of it. And gradually, as we break out of it, we break out of the individual self in a way, the circle of it. We don't break out of the self. We always remain in the self. We always remain as the self also. It's just that we don't define ourselves as the individual self now so much. And then our wisdom opens up of the universal self in a way inside us, no? Of the true self, and we see this more. That I'm not so much doing in that way as I thought. Things are more happening in the moment, and I'm also responding in the moment. Meaning this is also part of the happening, that I'm responding in the moment. One thing I want to bring again, the deepest possible understanding in life is not doing anything. I don't know if it is exactly same as the ancient wisdom given to us as don't move, but that's why I'm not mixing it. But trying to understand, let us try to understand again what is the core of not doing anything. The core of not doing anything is not that I stop living life. No, it's something totally different and deeper than that. No, I continue living life, but I more allow myself to respond, to meet life, while I remain at a deeper center of my being, more as a being, more as a witness, as a watcher of it, a constant watcher of it, a neutral, uninvolved watcher of it. And our responses to life are much better, by the way, than when we are living as individual self, generally speaking. Because then we are not trying to take sides. As individual, we always take side. We are always in favor of something and against something. Here we are neutral. The more neutral we are, the better we perform. No? Because when we are neutral, we are able to see what is good. What is good for us is good for everyone also, by the way, as a whole. And somehow what we call the appropriate actions start coming out of us. What is appropriate action? Appropriate action is basically a action free from ego. Action free from rag and dvesh. Rag means the attachment, overly attachment or interest in it, or dvesh means like a repulsion, like I don't want this. No, neither we are running away from it, from this moment, nor we are attached to this moment in any ready-made way. We are not ready. We are not prepared in any way for this moment. We are just meeting this moment. No. Then our best response to this moment comes. And while we remain as the truth of who we are. And we start discovering the deeper truth of life, that life is not so divided actually as you and me. It's a deeper knowing. It should not be given to the mind. I'm just trying to remind all of you. It should not be given to the mind. It's a deeper knowing. Because in the mind, we will feel fear. Oh my God, we are one. I mean, I'm okay with this, but I don't want to be one with this one. No. We will always have this kind of feeling. So this is not for the mind. No. We can experience this oneness while while the individuality is retained very nicely. Our preferences and everything is retained very nicely at the individual level. Individual level preferences don't amount to anything when you have started waking up beyond it. They are nothing. They are just part of being individual. They have no special powers or pull. No. They are more specifics of the individual, you can say in a way. That's totally fine. No? Because that's the beauty of the Lord, of the Source, that it makes everything so well defined and designed and detailing and everything. No? Like a replica of Himself. No? Thank you. Very nice talking to you and seeing this truth, no? that you are seeing. No? Thank you. Like, as we wake up more and more, we see that me and you are working on same thing called life. And we are working for same also called the source of life, the Lord. It is slowly known. And that gives us full freedom to function very much clearly as individual also. But at the same time, not being so serious about it anymore. Serious in the sense of suffering. So the suffering is not here now. And the freedom of expression is still here. Freedom of expression in the sense that suppression is not there anymore. Like nothing is being suppressed so much. Not that everything is being expressed, but whatever is important or part of this moment, or supposed to be part of this moment within the wisdom of Lord, finds a expression here nicely. Rest just melts and breaks into the fluid aliveness or life, inside us, and we feel very happy. It's a mystery that has to be lived really, cannot be defined so well. But I'm very happy that you are living it more now. Thank you. This is where you remain as an individual and yet you have kind of gone beyond it in a way. No? Thank you. Thank you. Very, very good.
G, in fact, there is less requirement for suppression because there's less need to hide because there is so much trust in the appropriateness. Because when it's not coming from the mind, it is default appropriate.
This is the thing that when we are looking at it, if we look at this, what you are saying from the mind, from the individual state, where let's say we are living generally, it is so difficult to understand what you are saying. No, there could be a lot of fear, a lot of confusion that, oh my God, what will happen? Like, am I supposed to do this? Am I supposed to not do this? Am I supposed to, this and that? And like, living life from the being is not really living life through some kind of training. No, it's a really living life. Like into the life. And life guides, no? Like this. Life guides us into the life. It guides us in this very moment. You know. And one thing is for sure, it is joyful. Like it's very alive. Alive means joy, basically, no? Aliveness of life is what is the joy, no? Like very joyful. It's very joyful and appropriate. As if I was about to say something which I should have not said, and your movement of body, your choice to speak out, stops me. As if, like this. Like a cooperation of life within the individual forms also is felt here. So naturally, internally. But when seen through the individual person's mind, it's very different. Hey, you interrupted me. I was about to say something. The individual person gets hurt here. However, the being discovers it was so perfect. Because being is not insisting, like being is not moving from the restlessness basically. It is expressing from the joyfulness, or rather it is expressing the joyfulness. It is excited like a child. It just want to express, you know, like Madhvi told me his nephew when he very young that time, he was going to his kindergarten school first time, and he was saying hello to everyone on the road, on the path, because he was so excited. Hello, uncle, I'm going to school. And they were also like, very cute baby, no? They're like, okay, okay, very good, very good. Hey, brother, I'm going to school. He was saying like this. This is that kind of expression from life. Our expressions are like this, joyful. We are not able to contain. So, this story may begin for most of us by just sitting and doing nothing, but it is not going to end like this. It's going to end in the dance of life, expressing to the fullest, but from ourselves. No? Because we cannot contain, it is so much more joy than body-mind can contain. No? Like it is said that great beings, when not finding anyone to speak to, they shared the truth to the trees and to the nature because it was too much to contain within. No? But it's a different thing. We think that as an individual we are trying to find to solve a problem which we don't know what it is, generally speaking. No? And if we can find what is my problem that I am trying to solve fundamentally, we have really found the solution of the problem, because we will discover that I am the problem, not that I have a problem. When I am not there, life is flowing so perfectly. I am more humble, more cooperating with the things as they flow. I allow things more. Allow means what? Allow does not mean that allowing other people to do something on me. No, allowing life to do something on something to all of us, or something with all of us, in through all of us in a way, like that. It's a very different thing. But I'm very excited to hear this from you, so that's why, a little bit more sharing is happening. Thank you. This is what is, I feel, coming back to life. Coming back to life. I don't gain anything as individual. I don't lose anything as individual. I lose being an individual actually when I come back to life. I lose being an individual. I don't lose anything as individual. The very being an individual is more of a myth, a misconception living in the being. That collapses in the life. Life is, body is, practical life is, everything is. And it is so amazingly one with everything that there's only more and more bliss, more and more, beauty. More and more joy felt. No? Thank you. Very nice. Deepa, you want to say something?
Mr. Rajee,
Namaste ji.
hope you're doing well.
Yes, I'm doing okay. I have cold, but it's fine.
Take care.
Yes, thank you.
Again, no words. Sometimes I wonder, who are you? And at the same time, I wonder, who am I who's witnessing you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's very beautiful, no?
beyond words.
We are life, no? We are life which actually experiences being born and experiences, dying, but it never born, never dies. You know, and this truth can be known not at the end of life. It can be known when we are living life. No? Like the more deeply we live life in the present moment, the more it is simply discovered that I am this life which does not die and also which is not born. You know, it's a powerful truth, but it's not complicated truth. It requires us to live and not think in the mind. Not that it requires us to think a lot more carefully, more accurately so that we can know it. Meditation is not a way of improving our thinking so much. It helps in that also. But it is mainly to live what we live. We live that which exists, obviously. No. What exists is life, truth. And we are this also. Here the drop and the ocean are not found to be separate from each other. No. It is the ocean dancing like a drop of you, like a drop of me. No. It's just the local mind which was holding the sense of being an individual drop continuously has been washed by the same pure water of being that it doesn't hold that impression of being an individual self anymore. It has only references so that it can very joyfully and accurately perform in the practical life as an individual, but it somehow does not feel that I am limited to being an individual self anymore. You see what I'm saying? Like that vastness starts waking up in you, that you are that vastness. No? Very, very nice. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Let me see you also a little bit on the bigger screen. No? Yeah, it's very nice to see you. Thank you. Thank you. Deepa, this is where um, you will find this truth which is neither, this is where you will find this truth which is neither inside nor outside, neither up nor down, neither gross nor subtle, neither dark nor bright, neither a form nor formless. It is a form and it is formless also. And it is not a form and it is not formless also. And you are it. I'm more speaking it like a prayer, like utterances from the love in my heart for you, and I feel it helps. That's why I'm speaking like this. I'm not trying to teach you anything. And you cannot know this truth first, because if you try to know this truth first, you will try to know this truth as the individual self. You can be this truth first, beyond the individual self. Then you can know the truth of the individual self. Then you will slowly know the truth of who you are also. Like in the purity of your being, what I call sense of wonder, the wonder of the being. Before you even know a glimpse or before you even know slight test about who you are, you will know everything of this universe. Before you know even slightest who you are, you will know everything of it, everything of this universe. Mind, body, non-duality, duality, everything. Energies, chakra, whatever. Anything, basically. Or if not like this, then what is being known by you may be good, but not really ultimate yet. No? Ultimate is when the truth knows the truth. So try to tap at the right places rather than trying to hit the wall doing the hard work. No, that's not necessary. So very good. Thank you. Very nice meeting you. Thank you. I have
I
to.
was supposed to ask a different question,
Sure,
and
sure. Go ahead.
and suddenly I entered the satsang and everything changed. And it was like, whenever I meet you, there's a cleanse that happens. It's like clean slate all the time.
I feel it is something good. It basically is showing your being is so ready for truth now, no? That the questions, the confusions, you know, which are felt, which are lived in the past, are not finding, like not give, finding space here, like not given value here, no? So you are so ready for truth, no? It's very beautiful, no? So this itself is a greatest attainment in the direction of spiritual awakening, spirituality, no? And this is in itself, it will not give you answers of your questions maybe directly, but it will give you that wisdom which can very easily find answers within yourself only. So you are not missing anything actually when you are not asking those questions right now. But if you want to ask the question, you can ask the questions also. but without disconnecting from this beauty that you are, no? Without disconnecting from the truth that you are. Because there is nothing wrong in keep grooming, no? Things, keep making things better. Like clarity is always beautiful. Clarity is not against living the truth of who we are. It is being egoic about it. It is being, in fact, closed. That closed is against living the truth of who we are. Clarity is openness. So that is also fine.
Yes, I'm open to learning new things every time.
Yeah.
Uh, so the question which I had initially was, what is the difference between, or is karma soul bound or energy bound?
Um, the answer of it is very simple, that energy and soul are not two things really. Everything that happens in the soul is made of the soul ultimately, but the soul has, for its own, divine enjoyment, amusement, it has divided itself into many things. Even what we call attention is not really anything but the soul itself. What we call consciousness is nothing but the soul itself. What we call awareness is nothing but the soul itself. No? So, in the ultimate sense, fundamentally, it is all one thing only. But within the detailing of things, things can be defined or known differently also. So, there is no denial to that. When the soul is asleep, then the karma is bound to energy called body mind or sense of individual. No? When the soul is awake, then there is no karma for the soul, even if there is a bondage of karma connected to the body mind. Like this. So the soul is never connected to karma, really. Never. When it is asleep, then it is not a soul anyway. Because not living as a soul is same as not being a soul actually. It may look strange, but it's true. No?
So does that mean that our parents or our family, basically we are connected energetically in terms of karma, not soul on soul level?
On the soul level, some connections do happen sometime, but only very, very rarely. But generally, otherwise, they are connected to energy. No? But rarely there are connections of the soul also. Like it's a very magical life that Lord has created, in which there is always a exception to the rule, and there is always a rule also. By the way, almost in everything. No? Karma is nothing but a rule. No, and then there is an exception to that rule also. Like this. Even the connection of the soul happens at the level of lovers also. Like some two people loved each other so deeply, and then they left the body for some reason or whatever. It happened naturally maybe, and then in the next life they meet and they connect also. Because they are able to feel that pull, that connection also, even for love. You know, and that love is not limited to being lovers only. We feel love also in general, not like a lover only, no. And that love is going to find a expression in some way, no, in the next life. And that also maybe will become like a connection of the soul to each other or not. So definitely, mm, there is nothing wrong in feeling or taking it like this, that our family has loved us before also in some way, that we are together now. No? But as I said, it depends on how conscious we are as a soul also. If we are not so conscious as a soul, then they are more energetic connections. Like our energy state attracting, you know, different energies and beings of different energies like this.
And what if our energy, so basically, if a soul is born, the energy, most of it, the current energy soul is carrying is of their parents or their ancestors, right? In that particular body. So if you are able to see that everything is that rather than, you know, connected to your soul, then
There are things which are connected to the soul, but they hardly get chance to wake up in one life. Hardly. Mostly we remain limited to what we can call, genetics. You can say in a way, like DNA or like physicality and the mental conditioning borrowed or taken from the society and from the parents and everything together. That that thing of the soul wakes up very less generally. It doesn't get chance so much. And wherever it gets chance, that's where we feel I'm different or happy or something like like this. One thing very interesting I just feel like sharing with you, Deepa, as I define that we have five kosh, no, inside us. We have many, but for our for understanding, for the simplicity of understanding, first four kosh are connected to this world, and we borrow from this world, from the elements, from society, from group in which we were brought up, from the family, particularly parents, no? Like this. No? But the fifth kosh, we borrow from the Lord and from the Guru together. Both contribute to it. That is why we have a very deep connection with the Guru. So that is the connection of the soul between the disciple and the Guru. But provided that it wakes up in this life, many times it doesn't wake up, meaning it is not known to us. Even if the Guru knows, we don't. We are not conscious about it yet. So that is where, from inside, in the fifth ghost, from inside, Lord is contributing. From outside, the Guru is contributing, to the same fifth ghost. The Guru has absolutely really nothing to do with any of the other four ghosts, actually. Like, if you can take care of it yourself, best. Just come to the fifth course, stay in the meditation, discover who you are, and then and just remain in the satsang, basically. Satsang means remaining in that togetherness with the Guru also. I'm just sharing something which I experienced inside me. So this is also one of the part of the secret of life, mystery of life. Thank you, beloved. Very nice talking to you.
thank you. Thank you so much.
It
I
is
love being in your presence all the time.
being in the present.
I love being in your presence.
Ah,
I love you.
I love you very much. Thank you. Very, very nice. And thank you for your gifts. Yesterday only I was eating something out of your beautiful gifts, healthy gifts, and remembering you. And that, hey, oh, so nice. Very fresh and nice. Thank you for that.
Let me know when I can order more. I would
Refill.
love to. Yes, I would love to.
Thank you. They are a lot. Thank you, thank you. If you remain in the present, even if you say it is, I am living in your presence, I don't mind it. But by living in the present, you will start fulfilling your destiny. Please understand. What is your destiny? Your destiny is not to remain as a person. Your destiny is to express through this individual body, mind, and consciousness, but to return to the original knowledge of who you are and express from there. I always say, like to add here that don't have this misunderstanding that you will become, like you will renounce the word when you will discover yourself. No, it's a different way life expresses itself when it wakes up. No. If life finds it appropriate, it will continue living the way you live, the work and everything. But very, very, very joyful, like more life, more alive. Do you see what I'm saying? Like more life in one day, more life in 1 minute, 1 second than we have right now. Everything remains same, it's just much more life or more aliveness, which is basically more joy. Now the more life when has to be condensed into one moment, it feels like joy or bliss. No? But when it will be broken into your expressions, when you will say something, that joyfulness, that light of your being will come out of yourself always. And it will be felt by others little bit, if not very clearly. And that kind of is going to create an aura around you of the joyful, blissful life everywhere. So it is my joy. It is fine if you call it my presence. But you are living in the present. No? Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very, very nice. Anna, you want to say something?
Namaste, Rajee.
Namaste.
Deepa had a very attractive topic, so I wanted to report something else, but to continue just on Deepa's topic, I wanted to ask something first. When the disciple and the teacher's souls attract each other and we spend time in presence together, I can also feel, and then I wanted to ask if that's true or if it's more just like my energy that gets awakened. I can feel also difference between, for example, when I'm sitting with Guruji or when I'm sitting with you. So, but it doesn't feel like anything that's individual. It just feels somehow different. So I wanted to ask if this is just my perception or if there is a little bit of difference, because I also worked with another master a long time ago and it was also completely different. So first that, and then I would like to report something.
See, it is going to be different, First of all, I'm generally very happy that being with me is different for you than being with Guruji. I always feel that it has to be like that. So, meaning it has to be so beautiful, no? Being with Guruji. Uh, but it is not really connected to connection of the soul. It is not connected to that. It is just the difference of the soul. Every soul is different. Like it is as different as it can be from each other. And this is the marvelousness and the power and the strength of the Supreme Soul, that it is able to express itself so differently from each other. No? So awakened souls are similar in the way that they are awakened, no, but not similar in the sense that they feel same. Like something is same and something is not same also. So this is one thing. That's why I feel that you feel different. Meaning your being reacts to it or responds to it differently. And you come to a different state or mix of two states also sometime, like mix of two beings, taste of two beings also like this. So this is one thing, and connection of the soul is very different thing. It's a very, very different thing really. Like it cannot be described so easily like this. Where the teacher knows actually, and the student doesn't. And it takes some time, a long time in the same life, that when the student realizes that, oh, you know, and it is much more like love, by the way, than like what we call spiritual experiences or anything like this. It is much more like love actually. Like like a trust is felt, like a connection is felt, like a comfortableness is felt, like basically trust is something. Like you don't feel fear, for example. Fear is not there. You just feel that I just don't feel fear. Like I'm not able to feel fear, basically. Like the power of the presence of the teacher is seen, but fear is not felt somehow. Like comfortable, like feel like coming closer and closer, and able to come in closer and closer also in the being also. There is something. There are something. I cannot define them. Only I feel them with some beings here. That I know. That's how I know that it is true. So I hope I answered.
Yes. I remember once in Sahaja I had like complete opening. It was very, very beautiful, where I felt that love. At that time I did not know you, but I felt that love also for the master before Guruji, and for Guruji it was just gratitude and love, a lot of tears, and and also for the things that did not feel comfortable at the time, like where ego would get upset or was maybe not so happy with
Yeah,
with what the master said.
I understand that. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to report something else before this topic started.
Yeah, I also want to say something before it.
Yes,
That
yes.
this topic is very interesting. What Deepa started, these kind of topics, and I like them also. I like to express them, but as much only as they are useful for discovering who we are at the moment. There will be a time maybe in future when I will be fully open for this kind of discussions. But right now I'm discussing or sharing or answering only as much as useful for discovering who we are right now. So this is something I wanted to add.
Yes, I'm sorry. It was just a hot topic.
I understand now slowly that yeah, it's true. By the way, I like these topics more than any other discussions. It is just that they are not so useful. That's why it is not
Yes.
shared.
Yes, for that reason. Here the reporting, much lower topic.
It's true. there was one of the best book, for my life. I read, no, in this book, the My Dagestan by Rasul Gamzatov, in which Abu Talib goes to this Awar conference, music conference, poetry conference, and Abu Talib, this, Rasul Gamzatov is writing that I saw him. He was in a hurry to somehow finish reciting of his poem, like as if he is trying to save time for something else. And he finished it, and then he said to the audience that, "Hey, would you like me to play flute?" They said yes, and he ran behind the stage, and where he was hiding his flute, and he brought it and then played flute for a long time, like for hours. No? And then I got to know that why he was in a hurry to recite his poems, and he was the best poet of the country that time, Soviet Union. So I understand the interest. I think our interest should be within the healthy range, so that they don't disconnect us from who we are. Because if we do get disconnected from who we are, we will stop getting that nourishment of the life, aliveness. Then even if the life is most beautiful, most entertaining, it will be less alive, more dead. That's where what we call fears come, confusions come, basically everything else on the other side. Like this. So that's kind of important also. Yeah, please go ahead now with your report.
For me, there is only one topic, and it's always coming to the same thing, whether it's about work or talking about masters. It's always just to come closer to myself and to stay as myself. And it just goes in different areas of life. So on that note, what I'm observing lately is a lot of contempt. So I wanted, if you could speak a little bit about contempt, because it is so close to, in a way, I was using it as filtering in life of this I want, this I don't want to do, I don't want to be like that, or like it was kind of for a while very useful, because it was guiding me not to take a wrong path, or path that would not lead to where I am now. But now I can see that it is so refined, and so it sneaks in ways that are not even, sometimes it's not even recognizable that it's contempt, and I can see that it is. And I can feel it now more as some kind of a protection. And I would...
You were saying contempt?
Contempt, yes.
Contempt. Ah.
Contempt.
Ah.
Yes, for others. Even on a spiritual level, like the higher level of contempt. But it is still there.
Contempt? What is contempt? Contempt. Like interference.
No, it is this feeling of feeling better, or of feeling better, or somehow it is very or specialness or betterness of, and it's not nice. It's not pretty. But I can see that it's very, very... Yes, you can understand what I mean by that. Yes.
Now understand. Yes.
Thank you.
So what is happening here is that the habit of ego in a way. Meaning the being that you are has a habit of ego. That habit is coming back here. The being that you are don't need to be special or to feel special to be special that you are. No? The more not special you are when living who you are, the more you are available to live who you are, and the more joyful and contented you will feel. So contented and contempt are opposite of each other. No? Use the contentment, as a mirror to see if there is anything holding you back from being who you are. Because contentment basically is like collapsing into who you are, like merging into who you are, is where you feel contentment more and more and more. It's a very internal thing. Of course, there is a contentment of attaining something in life, practical, or, like this. But this contentment inside us is when you, the being, is merging more into your purity of being, or being like becoming free from that engagement of the shape in which you have been living. So use it like a way to kind of sense that how well you are doing or not. But basically it's a habit. And because you are able to notice it, I feel it's so good that you are able to notice it. Because you are going to miss so much more valuable just for this small thing, which is just a habit now, because it's not your need anymore. There was a time when it was your need, meaning when there was a time that you needed to live as an individual. But now, even an individual can be balanced individual, more balanced and less balanced, like this. But now it is absolutely useless for you. Like the more fluid you are, like a child you are, the more you are available to yourself. No? But showing yourself as a special, higher, or different than others in the practical life is okay. But within yourself, not necessary. Within yourself, if it is necessary, then the word is present inside you still. Word means you and somebody else. You and other is the word, no? Then you and the other is also present inside you now. As soon as the other is there inside you, the you, the I will also be inside you now. Because it comes in pair, it doesn't come alone. So no I, no you, just the being that you are. No? Inside you, like this. But in relation to other people, interaction happening, something happening, practical life being lived, this kind of things will be there. It's normal. It's kind of part of the playing the role. No? Provided that we don't forget to unhook from that role afterward. So keeping yourself in the present will take care of it also. Because that feeling may happen in the past, and then if it is not attended in the present, then it will not be given any special meaning, or it will not be put into a certain context of continuity. Then it will get disconnected or discontinued. You should be constant, life continuous, nothing else continuous. No? Life being aliveness of the present moment. No? Everything else comes and goes. It comes, meaning comes on the table of present moment. Then it should go also. The constant being that you are remains always. The table of present moment also remains always. The plate of the present moment is cleaned by itself, unless you are interfering or helping Don't try to help. Let it be cleaned by itself. I just felt like sharing certain things. I hope they will help you in some way.
Yes, thank you. You are absolutely right that only contentment can compare, or not compare, but can be more attractive, because I could see the hook, the hook of this, basically of pleasure in being hooked to this feeling of contempt or feeling better, and nothing was I don't know, better until now.
And those who are against the pleasure, they become attached to the pleasure. No? Those who are for the contentment of the being, they may enjoy the pleasure and yet they will not be attached to it. No? They will remain free from it. Attachment does not happen because of experiencing pleasure. It happens because of not discovering something higher than this yet inside our being. Once discovered, then we will enjoy it, but also we will go back to the higher, no, immediately, or will remain in that continuously. No? That's why there is so much importance of discovering the higher first, and not worrying about letting go of the lower, because that will happen anyway. No? In one sense, you can say, oh, my Guru, everybody is trying to, all the great beings are trying to do one thing to us, trying to offer a cup of nectar, Amrit, drink it. And then this will happen, this will happen? Yeah, just drink it. Will this happen? Like we are just talking, trying to avoid drinking it. And the more we are drinking it, the more we will discover the eternity that we are, the timelessness that we are, and that joy, that bliss, that contentment. That is going to reset everything anyway for us. It's like a fundamental trick that all the great beings play on us, existential trick. Until then, it's going to be comparison between the pleasure and the pleasure. It is not pleasure and the bliss. No? And pleasure is many different type of pleasure, no? Not just the physical, no? There is a mental, psychological, emotional. Can I share with you some secret also here? Not secret maybe, but something fundamental about pleasure. Pleasure and joy or bliss are not really different things. They are the same thing experienced at different levels on different subtleties of life. But what it is really, what is that feeling, the pleasure, joy or happiness? No? It is basically a life form collapsing into life that causes the experience of the material this form is made of. The material everything is made of inside us is life. And life tastes joy, bliss, freedom, uh, uh, happiness, pleasurable also. You know, this is that thing. Now, at the physical body level, it happens differently. At the deeper level, it happens differently. But provided that we are a experiencer of it, no? If we are the form which is collapsing, obviously we will not be joyful, no? That's why we can enjoy the pleasure of the body, but we are not able to enjoy the joy of the being. Because at the level of being, when those subtle forms, shapes that were present collapse, then the joy is felt. But only if we have discovered ourselves deeper than that already and stable, and have become stable in that already. No? Then that is what is bliss. Bliss basically is collapsing of you into the Supreme Being. No? That is bliss. No? And once you taste that, you will feel, I just don't want to stop. Like you will say to the beloved, please don't stop. Continue merging me. Continue, collapsing me completely into you. And the beloved is also very much in the mood of a romance, here. He also makes it very slow, like slowly. Not like, oh, let's finish everything. Mostly not. Because for the beloved, it is a dance, divine love affair. It has been having with itself, no? In the form of you, in the form of the beloved both. That's why the one who is experiencing the pleasure and the one who is collapsing as this life form which is resulting the experience of the pleasure or the joy or happiness is the same. It's the same. And this is the same secret of living in the present also. Whenever we live in the present, shapes are created out of life inside us. Now let us allow the next moment to collapse them into emptiness again. Into the emptiness means into the empty, formless life again. And that will create joy again inside us during this time. So our joy will be double. Joy created by the collapse of the forms which were created in the past moment, and joy of meeting the formless in the present moment and creating the forms out of it also, in the form of thought and feeling and anything. So thank you. That's why I feel right understanding is more important than trying to take out our swords and guns to kill the ego. No? Because that is only going to result in more confusion and struggle in our life. Generally, momentarily or for some time. So very good. Anybody else, please? You can talk. I'm very happy to see Papaji's photo on Samya's window. No, it's very nice. Mila, you want to say something?
Namaste. Rajee, the meeting is very, very beautiful today, and we discussing very beautiful topics. And I don't know, somehow it is just kind of emptiness here, but I felt very strongly that I would love to connect to you. And I don't have any question. Maybe you can share what you feel now. It would be very beautiful to hear more from you. Thank you.
Let me look at you also. A little bit of a bigger screen because generally it is my, grid view. No? Because it is such a beautiful thing to meet emptiness, no? When the emptiness meets emptiness, it becomes more enhanced, joyful, loving emptiness. Yeah, like it rejoices in that, no? However, when the emptiness meets something else, a form, then either the form has to run away from emptiness, or it will be converted into emptiness also, no? Like, 0 plus 0 is still 0, but 0 minus 1 or plus 1 is 0, no? Like this we say, no? Something which I'm missing right now, mathematically, but this emptiness that you are is not absence of something. It is just absence of mind that you are able to see the very material everything is made of. The shapes are not born. You are not empty of forms. And you can never be empty of forms, by the way, at any point of time. So those who are trying to empty their mind, they will never succeed really. No, you are discovering here that I am that material which thoughts are made of. I am that material which the space of mind is made of, in which thoughts happen. I am that material which the thinker is made of. I am that which everything is made of inside me, no? And I am absolutely and always free. Now it doesn't matter whether thoughts are there or not, thinker is there or not. What matters is that I am here or not, and I am clear about who I am or not. No? Emptiness is not afraid of forms, remember. Because forms inside us are made of the emptiness that we are. How the gold will be afraid of the jewelry made out of it, no? Oh my God, some jewelry I don't like. I like to remain raw without taking a shape, no? No, that is a practice, a pointing, a valuable, wisdom shared by the great beings to us, no? Not the ultimate truth, no? So if you choose to stay in the present, you may meet anything inside you now. And if you stay in the present and stay with some thought, let's say, right now, or feeling, or any state inside, what will happen? That thought, feeling, state will just disappear. And you will remain. You were in the present, you are in the present also now. You did not change, you did not go anywhere, but things go on. Things changed, things became different inside, So this sharing on emptiness is most beautiful for me. And also it's very natural, because then you are not restricting me in any way to accommodate the way of the individual, or to bring in the body and its life. No, you are not, restricting me now. Body is emptiness, no? Thought is emptiness. Feeling is emptiness. This whole world is emptiness, no? Made of it, no? And you are this emptiness which everything is made of. If you don't identify with any form made of you, you will remain as who you are. If you do identify, you must break that identification. Otherwise, you will experience bondage. Bondage simply means that you are not living your natural truth. No. And it's a good thing that you feel suffering. It's like indication that okay, something is not okay. No? So suffering caused by identification is a help given by the source to us to become free from the identification. No? Or in fact, as such, suffering in the direction of awakening is a help. No? It is like indicating something. Something is not okay. Have a look. It does not mean that you will not feel something in the individual life. You will. Anything and everything, no. Happy, unhappy, not okay, okay, this and that, Just don't become anything out of what you experience. Remain as who you are, experience everything. No. Do you see what I'm saying? Something very fundamental we are living right now. No? And to reach here, well, let us do everything. Discussion, meditation, contemplation, anything that is satsang, anything that is required, let us do it for reaching here in this clarity. You are this empty aliveness, okay? You are this empty aliveness. Aliveness basically is joy, joy, or you can say excitement of being. Joy basically is excitement of being. Like being is excited to be. No? The bliss of the timeless is so much powerful that when that timeless comes in time in the form of being, being simply means the timeless living in time. No? That excitement remains in the form of aliveness. Excitement of being alive. No? Don't overlook this. Continue tasting this every day. The suffering cannot touch you now. Anything and everything will happen in life as the life flows and your ability to meet it. But so struggle may happen, everything may happen, unhappiness, happiness, but suffering will not touch you now. Because you will taste only the bliss, only this excitement of being alive. No? And then you will be much more wise also, by the way. When we are happy, blissful, we are much more wiser. Kinder also. Because when we are not kind, actually we are harming ourselves much more than harming anybody else during that time. Even if not seen by us in the short term, but in the long run, we are harming ourselves so much more when we are harming anyone. So thank you. It's very nice.
Rajee, thank you very, very much for this clarity. It just everything built up and was very well seen.
Thank you. Very, very good.
Thank you. And also you were sharing about suffering and what I saw that, yes, it is true because only for the mind, when it is suffering here, you can value this, how to say, emptiness and beauty and happiness. Otherwise, if you're happy here, then you will not fully value this, how to say, the true happiness or the true emptiness.
But it is also not something good or bad in itself. It is subjective. Like for the beings like you, what you are saying is very valuable. Because otherwise you will be just caught up in the mind. Meaning you will be caught up in the mind, not really happy, but living in the hope for happiness continuously. No? Because there is no happiness in the mind actually. In fact, there is no happiness anywhere in anything. Happiness is always in the experiencer that you are, not the being. Are you happy in being in the mind? Then there is happiness in the mind. If you are not being happy in the mind, then there is no happiness in the mind. Because happiness is not in the mind or out of mind. It is in you. No. Are you happy in being in the mind? Yes, very happy. Okay. Then you are happy. Then happiness is in your life also. You see what I'm saying? But for beings like you, yes. Like that sense of suffocation, that the suffering caused by being in the mind helps you indicate in some way, oh, go back to your true state. No? Like you are running out of oxygen or something in a way. Here, you know what I mean? Very, very good. Very good understanding. Thank you. It just feels so joyful to me. All of you are discovering truth like this, no? Because we all are just one self, one life. It feels so beautiful. I'm totally, present in a way or participating in a way in your happiness, in your joy of discovering the truth, no? Right now and always, I feel. Thank you. Thank you. Very, very good. How we are able to experience ourselves, the being, no? Those ways are different. How is different in different states of the being. But what we taste is the being only whenever we taste joy, bliss, happiness in our life. Even if as a person, no? There is no other happiness, even as a person, not for any person also. How we taste it is different, no? What is the mechanism of desire? You know, the mechanism of desire is to stress ourselves so much for attainment of desire, for the hope that I will get something out of it. And there, when the conditions meet, letting yourself relax. During this time, because of the compression caused in the being, the expansion causes the being to experience itself. No? Same thing. The mechanism of joke also, joke, no? When we laugh. A joke takes different turns. Then it kind of takes us to a turn which we did not expect. And in a pleasant way. Not a like, oh my god, some puppy died or something. No, not like that. Then somehow we collapse into our being again and taste ourselves. No? We do not taste anything except ourselves when we taste happiness in any form. But the ways are different for different beings. No? And I pray to my Lord that those ways always remain kind and loving, at least not harming anyone. Even if not experiencing so much peace, so much joy, so much happiness, but at least not harming anyone. Because experiencing happiness out of harming anyone is not something not good at all. It has very lasting result, lasting, consequences. So I can only pray to my Lord, my Guru, for it. That let there be more peace, kindness, love in this life, in this world, in people, in every one of us, for everyone. Thank you. And thank you everyone online for joining me in this prayer. Thank you. Thank you, Mila. Samya, you sent some heart and then wrote, he wanted to be with us and bless us today. Yeah, I felt that, Samya. That's why my attention went to it. No? Thank you.
Namaste ji. Thank you very, very much. So beautifully sharing today, and after so long, I feel I have heart.
I have
Heart.
heart,
Like a,
meaning you have heart.
I
You did not
feeling.
feel before that.
Yes,
Oh,
it's feel like when I notice like when mind is so strong, then you not feel heart. You have a heart even that.
I see. Yes, yes.
And when you bring us to in this present moment, that time I notice like how difficult to leave this impression of like a morning breakfast to like the taste of that breakfast. And that
That's true.
it is so beautifully you just bring it to this present moment, and I'm very happy to be here now with your guidance and with your support.
Very, very good.
Thank you so much for this.
Thank you. Um, one scenario is where the breakfast was kind of, the taste of the breakfast was very in the middle in a way, not too spicy, not too loud, or not too, soft, or how to say it like this. Then it will not leave impression, no, so much. But to attain that kind of breakfast, it in itself is such a project, no? So which is not going to happen. So every breakfast is going to leave some taste in on our tongue, no? But there is a way. If we take the breakfast in the present, then the being that we are gets the maximum, like takes the maximum. It tastes the maximum, but also it does not take the impressions in so much. It only records it in the memory, no? Actually, taking the impression in the being at any other level than necessary is basically a sign that we did not live that well. No? And that's why we are taking it home like a packet of it, like half-eaten breakfast in a way. No? Because the breakfast for the being has to be eaten not only just at the body level, but at the feeling level, other deeper levels also, so that the full contentment of meeting life happens. No? But that did not happen that time. So now the being is going to take the impressions of it, that I'm going to live it later. Later it is only going to live the old, no? Because the real is gone. That's how we live through the mind or in the mind only. And we do not live the real life that happens in the moment. No? You see what I'm saying? Even to live one small flower or blade of grass, real, is so much more beautiful. Because I remember this movie, Wall-E movie, no, where there was a robot and it is all robots and everywhere, no? Like the earth is destroyed and things like this. Then they go somewhere and there they find a small plant, like, and they were like, wow, like it was a real plant, you know. That kind of feeling happens when we are in the present moment. Every moment is so shining, by the aliveness of life, beauty of life, and by the light of God also. When our eyes open up internally, towards the presence of God, then we see the light of God in the things also. So I understand. But the key is to remain in the present. Like how to remain in the present? Start by remaining in the present, and you will start remaining in the present more and more. It may sound a very strange, too simplistic, pointing, but really there is no better pointing than this in relation to remaining in the present. Of course, we should contemplate that why we do not remain in the present, and we should make things clear at the mind level also, that what happens and everything, that all contributes indirectly but not directly. Directly what helps is start remaining in the present. Like we go anywhere, no? Like we used to go to, father used to take us to Rishikesh, no? Every year, and we used to go there, and water is very, very cold. And although the memory of the last year is that it feels very fresh to take a dip in Ganga, but still the water is too cold. But once you take a dip, you feel like continue taking dips more and more there, and then next day you just want to take a dip immediately. Now you don't feel because of this experiencing. No? Like the reward is so much more than that agitation, that what causes agitation. No? But for that, real meeting with the present moment is necessary, I feel. No? Not thinking about it. Because I have experienced or seen having a lot of discussions about the present moment, in the present moment, which only caused us to not live the present moment. That was my joy of that moment. I was part of those conversations also. But now that by the grace of my Guru, by blessing of my Guru, no, now the heart and the being has opened up for the tasting of this moment, no? Not thinking about it or discussing about it. No? Like my Guru has removed all the divisions everywhere, no? Which were not even detectable to me. What to say of if I could do anything about them. So I do understand this, what you are saying, and I'm just sharing based on what I have experienced so far and where I am now also, with the hope that it will help you in some way. But how much it will help you depends entirely on you. Thank you.
Yes. I notice also like real joy is just living in the present. Only that also I experienced this time. So
I
otherwise,
agree. I fully agree with you. But I also want to add here, the real joy is in living in the present, but in the way of the being, not in the way of a person. Because that is just another marketing gimmick of the person, to live in the present. That's not the real thing. Because if you cannot live in the present as the being, you cannot stay in the present also. In the present, we can stay only as the being. We cannot stay as the person in the present. We can stay as the presence only in the present, not as a person. That's why person is never able to stay in the present, because person want to stay as the person. But if those of you who are ready to be free from being a person into the presence that you are, into the being that you are, then this is a simple key. Then this is the most simple sadhana towards being free from being a person. Yeah. So thank you. Just wanted to add a little bit. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Very, very good. This is the region probably that I try to acknowledge every one of you, to say a kind of hello to every one of you in one way or the other. But But the cooperation from you is also necessary. That do you also say hello back to me in a way, internally or if verbally, that is best. No? That connection, that break up from the illusions of the mind will happen immediately into the present moment. In one sense, you can say satsang is like remaining in the present, no? And discovering everything and discussing everything about what happens outside of satsang, what happens before satsang, where I was and where I will be most probably, But discussing everything while remaining in the present. No? Remaining in the present means remaining in the being that we are. It's very good.
Namaste, Rajee. Rajee, sometimes this line which I have read somewhere, it feels very true while I am here in satsang, and many times it comes to me. So now I wanted to tell you that the line is like one meeting with the beloved and the river changes its course. It feels and the river changes its course.
River
changes its course.
Its course.
It feels so true.
Just one meeting with the beloved, and the river changes its course, meaning its direction. Yeah. I think that is the meeting with the beloved. That when the river of our attention changes its course from out to in. No? Thank you. So nice. I am all in service to this to my Guru, to this truth, where we are invited to change the course of our attention inwardly towards ourselves. No? I have a simple, very innocent question which will be answered also within this innocence. I am not asking you. So the question is that, let's say, if all of the attention drains out of the body mind, or mind particularly, into the being, there will be no individual sense of individual left now. How life will be left? How life will be lived? No. This fear the individual has. But the individual is not living as an individual by its own will. This clarity is not there in the individual generally when it has fear. Meaning it does not know who I am yet. It is within the will of the Supreme Being that the being an individual is happening. The one who has flown this river of attention towards the body mind to create the sense of individual and to be lived will do that again if it is the will of that. No? But by returning everything, all of our attention back to the source, to the emptiness, a kind of internal cleaning process will take place. That which is old and not serving any purpose will be drained out of the system. This is what will happen. This is what has to happen to everyone if we want to be really healthy in a way, happy in a way, rejuvenated, like born again. Like this. By the way, we are born again every morning. So there is nothing special about it. We don't live many years, we just live waking state. So it's not really about changing fundamentally anything. Everything remains exactly same. That's why the fear of the person, individual, that I will lose control on my life or I will not have an individual life is absolutely baseless. Because it is not the individual deciding that whether I will be individual or not tomorrow. It is something else deeper than that deciding. But through this process of going in again, what I call meditation, like discharge yourself into the emptiness of your being. This is what is meditation. Discharge yourself back to the ocean every day. A cleaning process happens. All that which is absolutely not serving any purpose and causing all form of confusions and imbalances is drained out of our system. No? Also. but very good, thank you. But I feel it is clear to all of us that this what I'm sharing is a very selective thing and it's going to happen by itself within ourselves. Like more and more we will feel encouraged to feel the freshness of our being, the aliveness and the truth of our being more and more, and then we will come home more and more. And from here we will rise again in the morning every day. We will know I am the same one, by the way. For sure, no? Because you are going to be the same one, who you are, no? Thank you, beloved. Very nice to meet you. Thank you. Diva, you want to talk?
Um, Thank you so much for this beautiful satsang. It's been, I feel, been a blessing, starting from the point where Uma mentioned about, in your conversation with Uma, you spoke about present and being in the present. And so far, after a long time, I feel I am able to be or walk with you in the present and be in the present for a long time. And what came to me is something like a two-liner, is that I got a present from the present to feel the breath of presence.
How beautiful.
And I feel this breath is, you always said, take your breath. And this breath is really very delicious. Feeling, drinking your breath is what you always said. And Rajee, it's really something, and it's really very, 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 I mean, I don't know how to put words, but drinking the breath is blissful. Thank you, Rajee.
Thank you, beloved. I clearly see that your spiritual journey where you have tried to succeed in experiencing this freshness and failed, that has contributed so much now here in recognizing the value and the freshness of it. I clearly see this. Meaning you were sincere and failing. You were failing. And now all of that has contributed so much now here. Like now you know what this truth is not. So that's why you are not attending that. And that's why when you have access to it, you are able to give value immediately to it. Like distinctively, not like, oh yeah, oranges and apples, not like this, No, diamond and everything else, no, like this. Mostly we are able to give value to the present moment, the truth, the freshness, like oranges and apples, like similar. What is the big difference? No, there's a big difference. Now you know. As you are saying, no, it is something. It is not just like experiencing this or that. And I want to add a little bit here, something to all of you, that if you can learn to be more still in your being, this same thing can be experienced much more by you. Because this is what it takes. You need to be more still in your being. The more still you are in your being, the more you can experience this freshness, this breath of the Absolute. No? It is the Absolute breathing. No? Who are you? It's a simple question. Lovingly I'm asking you right now. Who are you? Who is appreciating the freshness of this breath? You are the actual, real experiencer of this. You are the actual, real experiencer of it. That's why you are happy right now. This was made for you, but you are not living as yourself. Remember, Diva, everything else was same as it was designed, or it was created. It is just that you were not living as yourself. Now that you are returning to your true state, you are going to experience the truth of everything also now. No? If possible, try to stay in your truth of yourself more than trying to change the things that you experience, and then see the miracle. That ordinary will show its extraordinariness to you in everything. Your own body actually, your own mind, your own presence sitting on this chair right now is such a miracle to be lived. This is what it means to discover the treasure within our own heart, within our own being. It is not going to only cause falling away of all the complaints that we have in life. It is also going to open the bliss, the celebration of life in the being. Thank you. Very, very nice. Thank you. So very nice meeting all of you today in this meeting. Asta, you wrote that thank you, Rajee, for your blessings. Thank you for everything. I love you. I love you, beloved. I can see you, so how also here. Very, very nice. It is my joy to in some way facilitate or become some help, no, or useful in some way to that you discover, to you open up in this blissful flower lotus that you are. No? Every one of us is that seed or bud of that lotus, divine lotus that we are, that we are supposed to be. So thank you. Mila, you are also saying thank you, no? You are saying please share a song of your heart. Stephanie, you also wrote, I think. Yeah, you wrote so much grace beyond words. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll just share a few words. Mila, then we end. It is one of the great blessings of life when I am able to remember you, O my Lord, in my heart. And this blessing start increasing more and more as I am able to remember you more and more. And the greatest blessing of my life is to not find myself anywhere now, but only the presence of you in my heart, in my being, in everything. And it has become possible only and only because of the grace and blessings and love of my Guru. Please forgive me, O my Lord, that I am giving credit to my Guru. Those of you who do ask few times or feel that desire, longing in your heart to merge with truth, with God, you are right actually. There is nothing more blissful, beautiful than this. The life is just perfect and always perfect. This is what is coming home. The one who has never left home wakes up. That which wakes up is not really myself. It's not me the myself. It is the true self myself. No? If you can understand what I'm saying. It is not the me myself, it is the true self myself that wakes up. And it is the experience of bliss also, blessedness, merging, melting also. It's also like this. This is the most intimate meeting of you happening with yourself inside you, or you are meeting your beloved inside you. No? That kind of feeling is there of love, of grace, of gratitude, of celebration. Like it is, Mila, where you are discovering that this is what you were longing for continuously. This is what you wanted in your life. You were seeking everywhere, but actually this is what you were searching for. You were searching for this completion, this union with the God inside you, which is now happening actually. So, such an auspicious moment for us. And don't be afraid when the sense of individual will come again. It will be more and more within the will of Lord and in the grace of Lord. And it will not be able to create a confusion that you are separate from Lord now. No, don't worry about it. Just merge, live the truth of this moment, this grace, this beauty that my Lord is. This moment we are not absent. This I is not absent only from here. No, the presence of God is here. So much so that the I is not found. And those moments when the I is absent and the beloved is not present are also valuable. But this is most beautiful. So thank you for inviting Mila. And thank you everyone for joining this meeting today. May God always bless you.